What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another edition of On the Road to Victory. I'm your host, Jimmy Smith, and I hope you're all having yourselves a great Tuesday. We've got a little bit of joint practice news here, so we're going to break it down, talk some effing birds. All you sickos out there, appreciate you tuning in here today. It's time to rock and roll, a little bit of fight action, all kinds of stuff that went down today. We're going to talk about it. I've got highlights. I've got the practice notes, all the tweets from throughout the day. We've got the press conferences, what they talked about. We'll hear from, what went down in the scuffle. I actually got a interesting text about it. So we're going to talk about all of it. Final day of training camp. And look, excitement in the air. We've got one preseason game left, 19 days away from Eagles football. Let's effing go. But let's start this bad boy off with some clips from today. Appreciate each and every one of you taking the time. Love to hear from you today, your thoughts on the camp, everything going down on the fights, all of it that's going on here. But let's start it off with these clips here. Enjoy yourselves, and let's talk some birds. That bad man, A.J. Brown, pretty pissed. My nephew took him in fantasy last night, but oh my Lord, Eagles looking good this camp. Getting excited. Hope you're all excited here. Had my fantasy draft, got to be live there. Try to go live again from the suite. Would not go down. I don't know why the link hates me. Always trying to make videos there, but it pissed me off. Took some clips and some photos. Going to be sharing with you guys, but had a great time at the link last night. But let's talk about this camp. Appreciate all of you tuning in. I see the chat is ready over here, rocking and rolling. That's what I'm talking about. Let's effing go. My man William doing well here. Hope all is well with you and your family. Look, it's a great week, a beautiful day out. So let's talk some effing birds here, ladies and gentlemen. And yes, I love to see the praise Jalen is getting now. I've been here for years trying my best to get people on board. So Tiffany, appreciate you tuning in. My man Justin, let's effing go, baby. Appreciate you all taking the time here. Beautiful day. Hope you're all enjoying it. It's been a long one. Got up at like 6:30. Drove back from Philly. It's been a long day. But what is going on, China? Appreciate you tuning in. Keith, not Keith. Appreciate you, my man. It's a great day to talk Eagles, as is every day, of course. But appreciate all of you. I love this. This is what we're talking about right here. And they sure were. And we're going to be talking about that here shortly. And he is always open, as his handle will tell you, 1K, always open. And I did. I'm gonna tell you right now, I got Jalen Hurts. And that right there is all that matters to me right now. But no, I got Derrick Henry. I've got Kamara after suspension will be my running back. But Gibbs in the meantime with McKinnon. It's a PPR league, so getting backs to catch the ball. Got Goddard as well. My brother, you son of a bitch, took the Eagles defense. My other brother took Devontae Smith. It was brutal, but I got T. Higgins, Garrett Wilson. Happy about Goddard, though. I've got Kirk and Addison there. Yeah, New England's defense. Roquan Smith, Derwin James, Myles Garrett. We play with defensive players. So love my defensive players. I think had a good draft. I enjoyed it. It was a crazy time. The link always provides great times, great food, great everything. I don't even know what the hell this was that they gave us. Just put this on my damn desk here, but let's see. Oh, jeez. Because I'm not going to be able to open it here. That's, that's embarrassing. I literally was trying to open the wrong end. I'm like, I can't just not open it. Oh, well. Would you look at that? Hey-oh. Well, thank you, Eagles. I'll take it. So, now the ankle's getting a little better here. I was able to walk on it finally yesterday without too much pain. A little limp to my step. But, look, I hang that up. I appreciate the Eagles doing that. But, yeah, we got we got QB1. That's all that matters, right? And then getting Goddard, I was pretty excited about that. Trying to make some trades already, trying to get Swift and things like that. But I'm a sicko. I truly am, but I really didn't have time. Luckily, I have a wonderful woman who drove. And look, I got to dabble a little bit, but then it was practice time. But as soon as I got home, it was just like, oh, dude, I'm not going to have any time to breathe here. So, well, let's just jump right into it and let's talk about what happened. So, was listening to the Sirianni press conference, got a little bit of notes. I thought it was funny. He asked John McMullen why he was wearing a knee brace, and he's like, oh, you're going to be out here making cuts. I found that to be hilarious. Sirianni I love this dude. But he talked about how meticulous Steichen was, they just kept asking about, his relationship with him, which is great. He talked about Sippos. He thought did enough to win the job. That's why Zentner was gone. Let's hope so, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hope so. They talked about Zach, how he feels bad for him. He was a key contributor, not just on defense and special teams as well. As we talked about, it sucks for him. He's been doing great last couple of years. He talked about Miles Jack retiring, the best thing for both of them. Obviously, this dude wasn't making the team, so best thing for him. Got guys in the mix, though. So, we've talked about that. There's other guys that were going to make it over him anyway. It doesn't matter. Cam is the right guard. He doesn't need to come out and just say it because, you've seen it. And the season doesn't start for 19 more days. So, let's just calm it down. We've got cut downs coming. And I'll be doing my projected 53-man roster tomorrow before the preseason game. And we'll have another one, all this stuff coming up for you. Dude, the season's coming. I hope you're all ready. We're going to be breaking down week 1 coming up here. I need you to understand how excited I am. I got all kinds of ideas that I want to try to change up. We're going to test some things out the first couple of weeks. I'm going to still continue to do all the breakdowns, letting you know who the opponent is, all that stuff. But, going to be a great time. But you talked about Jalen Carter fitting in well. It helps that he knows these other guys from Georgia. Haven't played any games yet, but he's looking forward to seeing his contribution. We all are. He's going to eat souls. Cannot wait for it. Talked about the guys connecting, just like last year. It's a team. We talk about this, a brotherhood, right? So love that. That's what you need to have. And it's on and off the field. And that's what we love about this team, man. They're really building relationships here. Talked about, they asked about Anthony Richardson, obviously in good hands there with Shane Steichen. And he tries to leave his coaches with the things, list of things that he has learned and try to help them along the way. So that's pretty cool. And then he talked about showing highlights of Reed Blankenship, Britton Covey, and some other undrafted free agents. I assume, like Josh Job and Josh Sills, things like that. So showing, just last year, these undrafted kids, you can make the squad, just go out and play your best every day. So we've got a lot of competition still here at the back end, and tomorrow we'll be breaking down who I've got making this squad. But let's take a gander at the tweets from today. Then we'll get into what some of these guys had to say at the end of practice and talk about that fight there. So, look, you see the man himself, Shane Steichen, back. Man, I love the dude. Best of luck to him, but I'm very excited about Brian Johnson. So love to see him here with Stout chopping it up. So he was obviously here today, but also there today, ex-Eagles great coach here, talking with a recent Eagles great coach, Nick Sirianni. Dick Vermeil in the house, so love to see it. You see Dom watching, gonna spear tackle anyone that tries to come near. Love that. And then an old man River trying to look like the old coach there from the Bucks, Bruce Arians. Okay, anyways, you see LaShawn McCoy at practice today. Shady Eagles great in attendance, so you know they're out to impress. Now, some good news today. Quez Watkins back at practice. You know, he's missed the last couple of weeks with a hamstring issue, but here is the full list today, and he was limited, but great to see him back. Now, still not practicing, Britton Covey. Now, again, I don't know that he makes this roster, you know, whether they place him on IR or just even try to put him on the practice squad and, you know, elevate him, whatever it may be. You know, he was good at punt returning last year, but if he's actually banged up, then you know, there's a lot of talent on this roster, and it's going to be hard to cut some of these people. So you got to be healthy here, man. And this is going to be important because, you know, Eagles will stash people by, you know, well, they're injured. So we'll see. Now, Moro Ojomo, I think he'll be back. He'll be a part of this roster. Kyron Johnson, man, I feel like he's going to be one of those stashes, and I love his future here. So, look, I don't think he was going to get much time this year, and I'm happy he won't get cut and possibly claimed by someone else. So stash Kyron Johnson on the IR, and let's ensure we've got him for the future. I just love his skill set. You know, he can play edge rusher, off-ball, stacked linebacker. He's got that 4.3 speed, high 4.3. But, dude, you know, he, in college, played defensive end and linebacker. So love his skill set. A lot of these guys. And, you know, being precautious with Nolan Smith, Greg Ward. We know what's going on with Reddick there. So nothing too crazy, but some of these guys better get healthy if they want to make this squad. Now we're going to get through some of the things that went down here and some other notes. But A.J. Brown, you saw in those clips, he was eating Kenny Moore's soul. Love every second of it, and I cannot wait to see it this season. I know my fantasy team is going to enjoy it as Jalen Hurts slings it to A.J. Brown. Now, an important note here in practice, Justin Evans, you know, getting some first-team reps again. And look, we talk about this. He, Edmonds, Sidney Brown, all are going to get those reps. I know the media is going to try to spin whatever, but I think Sidney Brown, you know, it's his job eventually here. But whatever veteran, if it's someone that takes the job week one, that's perfectly fine. Sidney Brown will be out there. I can assure you of that. These young men will eat. And speaking of the young guys, Jalen Carter. Now, Fletch. You know, I don't have him as a starter on my depth chart, but it's because of he's going to be used like Brandon Graham. He'll still be a huge part of this rotation. But you see with Fletch back, Jalen Carter was rotating in with the ones. So we talk about this. All these interior linemen, Jordan Davis, Fletch, Milton Williams, and, of course, Jalen Carter, man. What a rotation that's going to be. You're going to see three of them on the field at the same time at times. Two, you know, so you're going to see the odd and even fronts. I can't really wait at all. You see Zach Cunningham continue with the first team. And look, you're mixing and matching, trying to find out who you want to be where. And look, Jalen Carter makes a big play. Richardson went to run. Ain't going to happen. So Jalen Carter is going to feast this season, and I can't wait to see it. Now, we're talking about AJ, but what about Mr. 1A, 1B here? Devontae Smith. Jalen Hurts recovers a bad snap off the ground, still throws a deep touchdown to Devontae Smith. Then Devontae makes a great leaping catch over the Colts. They're talking about this being the catch of camp. Jumping over Darrell Baker here, getting a deep ball from Hurts. Very Alshon Jeffrey-ish. And look, he's just doing it all day, all throughout camp. And, man, I cannot wait to see this offense. We talk about all of these pieces from, you know, the tight ends, the receivers, to running backs. Man, it's going to be quite exciting. Now, Sidney Brown, who we were just speaking of out here, continuing to make plays. You talk about soul-crushing hit here. Dude, yeah, I'm all about that. So, look, hitting Mo Alley-Cox, breaking up a pass. This dude, he plays with, you know, ferocity. And I think that you need to obviously learn how to tone it down, and we're going to have to coach him up a little. But a very bright future for Sidney Brown, and that's all I'll say because I talk about him way too much. Now, offensive line continuing to show why they're the best in the league, giving Jalen Hurts all kinds of time to throw. Just scored twice with Hurts at quarterback in second session of 11 on 11. First was a run play to Gainwell, and then Hurts takes off. Dude, big things from this offense with the line and all the pieces we have. And, of course, QB1 at the helm. Excited about it. Now, this is pretty funny. You'll see the media was irate. Derek Barnett with a strip sack, pushing and shooting I'm guessing he was going for shoving. Ensues. Barnett assumes a boxer stance, but players separated quickly. So right after this happens, everybody, you got to cut him. It's over. You never do that. You never. So I'll come back to that in a second. Now, Zach Cunningham having a tough day in coverage. What do we talk about, ladies and gentlemen? This guy, love him as depth, but I don't know that I want him to be the starter because he's not great in coverage. I think Morrow and Ellis can do a better job there. He's more of a tackler, okay? He led the league in tackles a couple years ago. So not great in coverage. So let's just keep that in mind this season if people want him to be the starter. Now, a little trickery here. Kenny Gainwell gets a pitch, and we've got ourselves a halfback toss downfield to Grant Calcaterra. Funny. If my stepbrother is watching this, Jonathan, my man, back in the day when I was a young boy, I remember in Pee Wee football, I believe the play was called Miami. I cannot believe I remember that. But we had a halfback toss to the tight end, and my stepbrother happened to be the tight end, and I threw him a touchdown pass during the game. We used Miami, and that was pretty cool. So that reminded me of that when I saw that. So just a neat little tidbit there. Just throwing it out there. But anyways, let's keep this train rolling because now we're coming back to people starting fights. So apparently a little bit of a late hit maybe. But to get Kenny Gainwell here, I think by Zaire Franklin. Well, Jason Kelsey blindsides him and a full out bench clearing brawl. These guys go toe to toe, things getting out of control. We don't have any video on this, but I do know where there is some. But anyways, you see 2 seconds later after the Barnett, they're like, I love Kelsey. And it's like, well, yeah, man. But it's funny. It's football. And we're going to talk about it because they do talk to Kelsey. They talk to Hurts, a couple of these guys. So we're going to hear what they have to say. But somebody had something to say after practice. And I found this to be quite hilarious, I'm going to be honest with you. But Kenny Gainwell said he appreciates Jason Kelsey sticking up for him. Kelsey being Kelsey. Then he says, we were whooping their ass. Well, I went out and I found this clip. So go ahead and enjoy yourselves what Kenny Gainwell had to say about the situation and the Colts coming into our house and trying to act a little sassy. Check it out.
Keep each other safe, man, we're a team. We ain't gonna let nobody come in our house and take over, but we're gonna continue to work hard each and every day. We whoop their ass up.
Yeah, as you can hear from Kenny there, we whooped their ass. So love every second of it. Yeah, and then I got a nice little text that said that fight was hilarious. And I said, damn it, I need to see some film. He says, I have the film. I'll show you in person whenever. So I'm going to look forward to seeing that. And when I do, I will definitely relay back to you what it was. But apparently I'm not allowed to be sharing that with you. So must have been a good one. I really wish there were some video on that. Now, they did talk to some of the players afterwards about this incident, and we're going to hear what they had to say. But let me jump over here to the comments real quick, see what's going on over here. What's going on, my man Donnie? Appreciate you tuning in. Let's effing go. Hope you're doing well. And yes, we make those on the 29th, my man, one day of. Yes, indeed. Look, so as I've been saying, we got 8 days left for these guys to prove it, the 29th. Remember, on the 30th, we traded for C.J. Gardner-Johnson. So this roster never done being built here. My man Drew in here. Let's effing go. So love to see it in here. And look, appreciate you tuning in, man. And, hope you're doing well. The draft was a wild one, man. But look, let's get into this. And look, the fights, all this stuff, pretty hilarious. I'm all about bringing these guys fighting as well, Drew. So let's talk about what these guys had to say. And first up, they had Boston Scott here. And he just talked about there's a lot of competition going on. Both of these teams, guys are trying to make the team. But it's passionate. Fights happen, man. And it's so hilarious how the media reacts to this. Like, oh, my God. And it's like, okay, if it's a big fight, like, cool. We'll talk about it, ask a couple questions. But, like, dude, they are out of control with the stuff. But he talked about it was good on Kelsey, but it's funny how it's bad on Barnett. Anyways, Jordan Davis, he just talked about, he got him the big heat, dude. He's settling into the scheme. He genetically blessed. He's a hard worker, great personality. You know how excited I am about these young guys here on the line. Talked about Hurts, that hunger he has, just wants to accomplish more, and it's just cool to watch him develop. I love how they all use that word. Oh, what's that? He can't develop. Oh, it looks like he developed. Oh, love it. I love it. Love it. And then he talked about it starts from the top, and we've talked about that all the time, from Jeffrey Lurie to Howie Roseman, Nick Sirianni, Jalen Hurts, and then all the way down to the bottom, the trainers, the janitor, everybody matters, man. Every little detail matters, but just a day at a time, man. That's pretty much what he had to say. So they got him off quickly. Then they had Steen. They were champing at the bit to get to one of these other guys you'll see here. But talked to Tyler Steen, talked about how he learned a lot. It's been a good experience learning the playbook and different techniques. They asked him about the fight. He said, look, fights happen. But cooler heads prevail. And, you have to realize in a game situation that would not be good. So everybody's got to chill the F out here, man. I talked about playing the two positions. It's been difficult, but, anything difficult takes time. And any transition is going to be difficult because they asked him, is it harder to play left tackle to right tackle or guard to tackle? And he said any of them. It's complicated, but it's just about learning those things, and it takes time. And they asked him about playing, all the guard positions and tackle. And he said, I never played left guard, but I will play left guard. He'll do whatever it takes. And very excited for this young man. I believe he is the right guard of the future with Cam Jurgens in the middle. And, of course, Landon is the left guard. So I'm pretty pumped about it and excited for him. Now, up next, Jalen effing Hurts comes to the podium. They kept trying to, pry a little bit right in the beginning. He says, we're moving on. Trying to move on. But, just wanting to stick up for each other. And you like that. You want your team to be a family sticking up for each other. But it gets competitive. Things happen. They asked him what was said. He said, that's in-house, what Sirianni said to them. But you learn from the end of practice, not how you want your last day. It was funny at one point. I think I do have a note on this, but he said something. And they're like, oh, what's the last day? And he's like, this isn't the last day. And they're like, but what do you mean? And he's like, we're going to practice on Friday. And they're like, but technically after the last preseason game, it's not training game. And then Hurts just kind of, and he is such a little wizard with words. He just tries to talk you into circles. And like you can tell, it's like, all right, dude, it is the last day of training camp practice, but he's still just not going to accept it. So I loved it. It was hilarious. But moving on, I talked about Devontae. He just plays big. That's nothing new. He just keeps building on his game. We are all very excited to hear about him. He talked about Gainwell being able to catch. And on that play that he made just, I guess, a good catch, it was a Shane Steichen play, but they never actually got to use it. So they ran his play on him, even though they never used it. So I thought that was pretty funny. He talked about he'll dictate when camp is over. That's my note right here, dude. He pretty much just telling him it was pretty funny. But he talks about everyone playing a role in this identity of the team. Love that. Everyone matters. They asked him about Shane. He talked about how passionate he is. He's excited for him because he truly believed in Hurts, man. Shane Steichen helped build him, along with Brian Johnson and Kevin Patullo and Nick Sirianni. But, Shane Steichen was there for him and built this offense around him. And you saw an MVP runner-up season, all-pro. Dude, he got paid. So he, big fan of him. They asked him about any advice he gave to Anthony Richardson. Of course, he's not going to tell them what he said, but, he's excited to watch him. The approach he gives to young guys, the same as how he would, don't approach things differently because he does things the same way, he used to do. He does that right now. This dude comes in with the most insane work ethic, never gives up. He's just always fighting to be better. That's how you have to be. Then they asked him, and dude, I feel bad that I've been telling you guys this for so long. So, whoops. But, everyone kept saying he was working with Tom Brady. And I was like, that's not what happened. My source told me it's Adam Dedeaux down there. Tom, why did I want to say Tom Cable? That's not it. Who cares? Regardless. So I've been telling you guys, like, he was working with Adam Dedeaux. That's the guy, who works under the quarterback guru. That he wasn't working with Tom Brady. Brady was there one day. They talked a couple minutes. That was it. He didn't work with Tom Brady. So I've been telling you guys that. Well, he said he was like, they asked him and he was like, yeah, I never told anyone that. He's like, so that's not like supposed to be known that I was out in California. I was like, so that's my bad. I didn't know I wasn't supposed to be talking about that. And I've been talking about that very loudly. So whoops on that one. Sorry about that, Jalen. My mistakes. I was just trying to let them know that this, greatness of yours does not have anything to do with Tom Brady. People always trying to give away credit. Oh, yeah, see, because he worked with Tom Brady. He talked to him for 2 effing minutes walking by, bro. 2 minutes, okay? This is Jalen effing Hurts. Nothing's changed. This young man is driven. People just stopped hating as much. That's what has changed. So I love every second of it. Now let's keep it moving. They talked to the man himself who was throwing it down, Mr. Jason Kelce. And I don't have many notes because literally the entire effing time they just keep prying about this fight. Talked about tensions got the better of him. You try to keep things civil, but, it's an intense practice. But he didn't handle things properly. It was unacceptable. That's what I got out of it. But he was happy with how the practice was, the way, guys were competing, but obviously not happy with the end result. You could see he was actually pretty choked up about it. He was pretty bummed that he was, the veteran player giving that kind of example is not a good thing, right? And I love that dude to see how passionate he is, that he let his guys down in a joint practice. Fucking love him. I love you, you son of a bitch. But my point is, it's just ridiculous that they couldn't even ask him about other things. Like, it's the last camp. What did you see? What's going on? Like, you could ask some of your dumber questions, but you just pry. It's like, you could tell the dude felt bad, man. Like, you guys asked a million questions about this thing. It's not a big deal, man. It's football. Things happen, and they all said the things that they were going to say, like, over and over. I don't know how they could hear the same things over and over again. You know what I mean? So, whatever, dude. It is what it is. But make NFL funny. Look, I grew up, and we'd get in trouble. You'd obviously get kicked out and stuff. You couldn't fight, but I mean, you could get in little scuffles. Like, it wasn't like today where you hit someone in the face and you're gone. Like we would take, that happened all the time. But yeah, I grew up watching hockey and loving the fights all the time, and I always wish there was more. But now today I get it, trying to be safe and up, no doubt. I'm just going to be real with people. And I know people say things like that. And people get upset about like swearing and things. And like, I get that, bro. But here's the thing. Football is not for people that are offended about violence or cussing or things like that. And I'm not here to gatekeep it. This isn't for you. I'm saying these are things that are common occurrences in the sport of football. And it's weird when people are upset about that stuff. So look, I'm all about keeping people safe and things. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, it's a funny world we live in today. That's what I'll say. But I enjoy a great brawl, my man. And I need to see that video. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm kind of pissed that I'm not back where I just was last night because I would be making that right now. Oh, yeah. You know how much I love him. So very pumped about all the guys I've been talking about. He's General Sicko. I love it, man. 19 days, I'm ready to run through an effing wall. You guys know, doing my best to count this down. 80 days ago, we started this countdown. Clearly, I didn't even take a day off because the day after the Super Bowl, we're talking about the coordinators. But look, it is what it is. But hey, man, I've been telling you, I was like, oh, my God. When I heard him say that, I was like, shit. And I do that shit all the time. Like, I tell him, like, you got to tell me, like, what. Obviously, I know when he's, telling me something in secret, I'm not supposed to say anything. But, like, the video, like, I'm going to show you in person. That right there means I'm not sending it to you because I can't chance anybody, this getting sent. Like, and he trusts me with a lot of pretty awesome information. So if he's not sending it, that's going to be a good one. And I can't wait to see it. But yeah, I told you, I kept hearing this Tom Brady, and it's like, bro, that's not, I'm telling you. And people are like, you don't know. And I'm like, no, I literally do because I'm friends with the guy that works with him every day. Like, I don't know how you can get any closer, any more in-depth analysis or what's going on. I mean, for the last 3 years, I've tried to get everyone on boards, with the Hurts train, the Hurts season, whatever they've been creating since. I've been doing my best to get those things started because, my God, it was unbearable. We got to trade him. He's a gadget guy. He sucks. Doesn't have an arm. I'm done with it. Thank God. Let's move along. And it had nothing to do with him. And I was trying. That's all I was trying to do, right? You know what I mean? I wasn't trying to give away information I did not know Jalen didn't want known. But it wasn't like I was supposed to. Oh, so you're telling everybody. Oh, hey, whatever, dude. I love it. Having that kind of power, that's awesome. I love that, dude. But I feel bad. I do. But it's like, oh shit. I literally had a piece of information that was really not supposed to be known. So hope you guys enjoy that in-depth stuff I give to you guys when I can. But yeah, totally forgive that man. Love that man. He is the man. And they just harp on the negativity, and I hate it, man. I really do. I can't stand it. But we don't need it. It's a teachable moment, and we love this moment. It's teachable for both. These guys are grown men. And, some of them young, and, these young guys are going to learn from this. Even the veterans are going to learn from this. Just because you're an old head doesn't mean you still aren't learning every single day. Trust me, that is the name of the game. As you get older, you start to figure that part out. And you could see he was learning even on the fly as they kept hounding and hounding and hounding. And it was like, bro, they were like trying to break him. I don't like that. So it is what it is. But we love the man. We truly, truly do. So no need to hear him apologizing, saying, he doesn't want that type of negative energy. He didn't even want to answer the question. Yeah, exactly. And it's like, bro, why? But we talk about this all the time with the stupid stuff, like not even just their super negative stuff. You know what I mean? You guys know that I was on my deathbed and I was tired of it. So that's why I started this. It's literally all because of that. Their negativity. I'm fighting for my life. And what's crazy is I turned into a negative person after like my first couple of years doing this. I predicted us winning the Super Bowl, broke down like why Corey Clement, Nelson Aguilar would have great years, Nick Foles would win the Super Bowl, and I don't know anything. Well, that all happened. And then I just, dude, the way people treated me, like the things people were saying, it was just like, F you, man. So I returned that energy. Now, great friend and family member of the show here, Drew, he has really been helping me, see things differently this past year or so, where it's just like, look, man, I can't match energy with people. People are always negative. It's like, I got to be that positive light I was when I started this, and I've been my whole life. It's like, I hate that I want to match energy with people because I hate people walking on me. And I think once you taste death, man, it gives you a different outlook, and you're just like, I ain't taking shit from anyone. And I've always been that way, but I don't know, man. I don't like how they made me I don't know. Like, I don't know, man. Just pompous people that think they know what they're talking about. It's like, all right, dude, well, I'm going to show you what I know. And, I did. And, the death threats, the weird wishing ill on me. Like, I don't like that stuff, man. That's weird, dude. So, hey, who cares? I have you guys. You're my family, and that's what matters, man. And we're sitting here, we're sickos, dude, talking about training camp, and that's what this is about. Literally finding people that are like me that want to just talk birds 24/7. It's your excitement, your escape from life, and I'm all about it. This is my life. You know what I mean? So, and it is what it is, and I was talking, to these guys last night, meeting some new people, and telling them like, look, the reason I do this is, I started because I couldn't take that. I wanted to be a positive force, but I know football too. So I've always had people like, you got to do, my dad always wanted me to be a broadcaster. So like all these different things, like I started learning while I was really sick. And like, I just started like weird live videos in the hospital. Like I was in there for a month. So I'm just going around making videos with, carrying around the stupid thing with all the bags hanging on it, tubes in me. I didn't give a shit. And then, I just kept going, learning how to do graphics, how to produce a show. Now I'm sitting here with Jason Kelsey next. I have no idea. How am I doing a sidebar? Now today there's no actual bar that moves, but it's like I'm doing the ESPN stuff. Like, what? I don't know. So, but I love it, man. That's what it's all about, man. You guys drive me to do this. Like the Eagles, this whole brotherhood like that is what this is all about, man. So I just don't care about those people and their negativity. They're going to continue, and I'm going to continue to dog walk them, talking about Hurts, this defense, whatever they need to learn. I'm going to teach them. Well, we haven't used this one in a while. Let them keep hating. I'll keep educating. I was waiting for you to say it at home. I hope you did. I love your content. Hey, look, and it's crazy how much, Hurts was trash. Howie, Sirianni, and I sat here and it was just like, I don't know what they're watching, but I think we're going to the Super Bowl. Then we go to the Super Bowl and it's like, well, okay, so we lost it. I'm now predicting that we win it and we build a dynasty here. So, look, a lot of things have to happen. You have to stay healthy. I could sit here, anybody can sit here now and say that, but I've been saying it because of how we were set up, how we have drafts. I show you guys how much draft space we have, cap space we have, draft capital we have, all those things. So you understand what I'm seeing, how I'm coming up with. This is why we're going to sign Hassan Reddick, James Bradbury, Kaiser White. You guys remember that last year. This is why we're going to draft Jordan Davis and trade for A.J. Brown. All those things happen this year. I mean, come on, man. You guys have been with me. You're seeing what I'm doing here, right? Jalen Carter, we go get him. I mean, we talked about a bunch of these free agents. We talked about trading for DeAndre Swift. I mean, I'm doing my best, and I love you guys. That it's all for you. I'm just trying to do my best and hope that these things do happen. I hope that these sources of information I got that I can give to you, that you enjoy that. Drew going around telling people, you don't know shit. It wasn't Tom Brady. It was Adam Dedeaux. My man actually is friends with the guy that works with Jalen Hurts every day. I love that you're doing that. You guys are going out there and doing that. That's awesome. That's what this is about, man. And it means the world to me, man. And it sure does, my man. And it's not that I want to be cruel to people. I mean, if anybody knows me, you know I'm the kindest person. I give my shirt off my back. But it's I literally just don't take shit from people. That's the difference. And I've literally let people walk over me. Like I act like, you know, like I've always been a bad dude. Like if you ask people about Jimmy Smith, they're going to tell, oh, Jimmy Effin Smith, I know, but they don't know what you're going through personally. And I, you know, when I was younger, I drank a lot and I fought a lot to suppress a lot. You know what I mean? So it's, I let people in certain situations walk all over me, jobs, things like that, where it's like, man, you can't do that, family. And I was stepping up to the wrong people, beating up people at bars and doing, you know what I mean? Stupid shit that doesn't change anything. And that, you know, so now in life, I don't drink. I don't do things you guys know. I try to figure out what's going on. And man, the Eagles, that's one of the things that drives me and I love, and I'm going to work for them and I'm going to continue to build this empire until that day happens. And well, you're all going to come along with me. But right now, that's all I've got for you. I really love you. I appreciate you. Wish this was Fan Friday and I could keep talking, but the little man, first day of school tomorrow. It's back. Summer's over. Son of a bitch. So, got some things to do here. Going to spend some time with the family, get some things done. But I love you all. Look, tomorrow, I told you, projected 53. And I'm going to give you a projected depth chart, too. I'm going to show you some of the top battles, things like that to watch out for. It's going to be a big show, getting you ready for this last preseason game. And then I'll have content afterwards. Like, we'll do the post game, of course. I'll have the pre and post game on game day. The next day, we'll do the snap count, the breakdown, all that great stuff for Friday. But this weekend, I'm going to show you like the cuts, things like that. They're about to happen. So I'm going to keep you up to date with all that stuff. And they will do things throughout these next few days. It doesn't all have to be at once. So I'll keep you up to date with all of it. Look, this is all for you guys. And you guys are always here for me. So always tell you, if there's anything I can do to improve it for you, let me know. But you're damn right, my man. And look, it definitely takes some time for me. And look, I used, and everybody has their thing, you know, and mine was alcohol. And I used that to, you know, hide from what was going on. And really, I couldn't grow anywhere. And once I stopped drinking, it was just like, oh, life's perfect. Now it was like, oh, shit, I got to deal with all this, man. And the Eagles were right there with me. You guys were right there with me. Hearing me predict a Super Bowl, we win our first Super Bowl ever. I remember being at my dad's grave, like, this ain't real. This is not real. Like, about to have a heart attack. I was like, dude, this is my destiny. Like, I'm going to continue talking about the birds. Like, we're going to win the Super Bowl. This is happening. That morning, we go win the Super Bowl. I was like, I'm not going to stop. On the road to victory. It's growing. And here we are. I mean, bro, I'm getting text about the fight. I'm going to watch the video of it. I'm going to tell you guys what I saw and apparently ruined things for a year that I didn't know. Oh, Lord. Drew, make sure when you tell people his name was not Jimmy Smith. I don't know who that was, but yo, appreciate you, dude. Really do. And hey, really appreciate that, darling. And look, I appreciate you tuning in, subscribing, all that stuff. You guys are awesome. If you got anything from this, you can always hit that like button and subscribe along, and hope to hear from you more. We've been tearing it up through this off season, all you sickos who love your bird. So if you're fiending for any content, there is plenty of it. If you watch any of it, you get anything from it, or you want to talk about something, have a question about something, you can watch any of those old videos on my YouTube. And there's so many playlists of the money, how Show Me the Money it's called. It shows you how the cap works, all the roster moves, breakdowns of everything. But if you ever watch those, you can always comment. I'm always down to talk some birds. And I know a lot of you are new to the channel, but there is a sea of information waiting for you. Lots to learn out there, and maybe you could help me learn something. So welcome to the family, to you and any other new subscribers. But we're going to be chopping it up, trying to make it through these next 19 days. But to be honest with you, it's going to be 12 days, and we're going to be tearing it up because I'm going to be breaking down just like we do, man. And any of you new to the channel, we have weekly breakdowns. You're going to get to know the New England Patriots just as much as you know the Eagles. We'll talk about the opponent. Clearly, we're not going to have much to talk about because we haven't seen them, Patriots-wise, but we'll talk about their roster, offseason moves, all that great stuff. But I love you all. Appreciate you tuning in here. Tiffany, you have yourself a great day. Each and every one of you have yourselves a great day, from Drew to Darlin. I know that, Tiffany, obviously, Big Jim was in here. China was in here in the beginning. I know Donnie, and I think we had Liz in the beginning. Keith was in here. Justin, William, you're too awesome. I love you all. Hope you're having yourselves a great day. If anything crazy happens, I will come back. If not, again, it's going to be that crazy breakdown tomorrow. I've got a lot of stuff. I'm going to figure out when I'm going to finish all of that. But look, man, if you guys ever need me, and you're damn right it is, we're on the road to victory, though. That's what matters, my man. But if any of you need me, you need a friend, you can always talk birds with me, but you need something else, or, maybe that just helps open the conversation and you want to talk about whatever it is in life, feel free to let me know. You guys know I'm always here for you. You guys are always here for me. So I do whatever I can, but love to see the love being shared down below. Hope you all have yourselves a great day. Hope you're having a great week. But until next time, I am Jimmy Smith, and this is On the Road to Victory. You all stay safe out there. And as always, say it with me now. Go Birds!